Hello. I am determined to make some statements. I will criticize Mr. Charlie Ward, Mr. Simon Parks, and up to a level, Mr. Robert Steele, who participates with them in some of the broadcasts that they have on YouTube. And they talk about the situation at hand with the politicians in Washington. And where does Mr. Trump stand right now as a leader of that country? I've been listening to Mr. Ward and Mr. Parks for some time. And I'm asking both of you, what exactly are you guys doing? What are you trying to do? What is your aim? What is your goal? Who are you trying to fool? What is the purpose you're doing all this? You have been saying for so long that you have sources that you get in touch with every day, every morning. And they give you stories and they tell you of what to expect that it will take place and happen in the next day, 2 or 3 days or 4 days. Nothing, absolutely nothing has taken place of any of the stories you mentioned, of any of the things that you claimed will happen. We haven't seen any blackouts all over the country. We have not seen emergency broadcasting and disrupting the regular programs who supposedly were informed separately. Each one of them were sent people to inform them that this will take place. Where do you come up with these inventions? While you're asleep? Or when you wake up, you have others working with you and you develop all of these propaganda statements, because that cannot be real. This cannot be real. It's actually a disgusting way of manipulating or attempting to manipulate with the mind of the American people. You both ought to be ashamed of yourselves. And Mr. Steele, I would like to know, where exactly do they tell you every time you speak to them that you find them so amazing? The statements that you're making, that you find them to be the best. They're really part of you, and you, come on, relax, stop bullshitting the American people. We had enough. Not only in America, all over the world. We have listened to you. We tried to understand you. We waited for results of what you're stating and claiming. Nothing has taken place. Absolutely nothing. How dare you, treating 330 million American people in this manner? If you don't have anything decent to say and real and proper, stop broadcasting or do something else. Broadcast something about a different story. Maybe some tales for kids, not for grown-ups. You're stating every time that we hear you on YouTube that the president is still the president, that he is the one who signs continuously now, even from his home, the executive orders, and that Mr. Biden signs or pretends that he signs all these executive orders, and that he doesn't really put a signature on them, and that they have not moved from his desk to the proper agency so they become law. How long are you going to continue trying to manipulate, abuse the minds of the American people, lying to them so grossly? Mr. Trump has just announced that he's creating a new political party that's called the Patriot Party. And he also announced that he's opening up the office of the ex-president. What else do you guys need to know? That he's now in the opposition of a government. He's not the government. What else do you need to understand? That you continuing saying and making statements of this kind, you continue to bullshit the American people. Nonsense. Grow up. We cannot continue to listen to your stories. They're insulting to the American intelligence, to the American people's intelligence. All of what you claim are insulting. Let me ask you, just last night, I was watching YouTube, and somebody sent me a video with someone who was filming live from the perimeters of the Capitol Hill, Congress, and he was filming them with his phone and broadcasting it live. It's a film more than 30 minutes. Can you tell me if you've seen it? There were tens of buses, smaller vans, big Cadillacs, black Cadillacs with the American flag on it. People coming out with files, people coming out of the buses as they were circling the building. And all these young people were coming out, mostly young men and some women, in civilian clothes with a bag on their back. And they were taking them towards the Capitol building. Can you tell us what was that all about? Can you tell us what was that all about? Why at 2 o'clock in the morning there were all these people coming out of the buses at 2 o'clock in the morning on the evening or the night of the 25th to the 26th today at 2 o'clock in the morning. So it was already 26th. Can you tell us what was taking place there? Why all of these young hundreds upon hundreds of people were going there at that time of the night? You don't probably know. But I decided to call and find out. I called one of the bus companies to see what was that all about. And I was explained that these were really soldiers, part of the National Guard, and that there are about 300 buses that work for that project every day in the last few weeks, and it will continue for a while. And that every time the shifts, I guess, change, they take people there, they take the others who they go back to their hotels. And that's exactly what was happening. Then somebody sent me another video clip of the 23rd, of the night of the 23rd to the 24th. And they were showing the White House, that it was totally dark. There was no lights anywhere not only inside the building, but outside either. And the guy who filmed it states that he witnessed with his own eyes that everyone who was at the White House that night was arrested. And he showed police cars and police trucks going over the bridge into Virginia, I guess, or to Baltimore. I'm not sure which side they went. Maryland, I guess. And they claimed that they were taking them to different prisons there. And at 5 o'clock in the morning, the lights came back at the White House. But isn't it ironic? It wasn't there a press conference yesterday at the White House? Then his press secretary came out and make statements of the president signing in the morning a new executive order, and he was to sign a new one that evening, yesterday evening. So why are you guys, all of you, are creating such nonsense? You're making people stay up and watching and see what's happening. Many people are worried that there's going to be a civil war, there's going to be whatever. And you are continuing to play with people's feelings. And I still have not determined what exactly is your gain from all of this. If it is not financial, then probably not. What is it? Are you not normal up there? All of you, where you fed through all these fantastic stories that you make up, and you love it. You love it. Listen, quit doing what you're doing. Quit playing with the American people's feelings. Stop insulting the American people's intelligence. And believe me, you are not any better patriots than everybody else. People have the right to be exhausted, to be tired, to be let down, even by the president himself. And I'm talking about Donald Trump. He should not have left the White House. He should have exposed everybody. He should have told his generals that they need to do what he wants. He was the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the United States. No one can refuse him if he tells them to file and start martial law. If they did, then you should have come out and explain it to the American people and have those generals pay the consequences. If the generals sold him out, they need to be told that they need to be punished. Their job is not to be there to refuse the orders of the President of the United States. Mr. Ward, Mr. Parks, seriously, consider changing your way of approaching the issue and the way you are presenting it to the American people. It is now becoming really, really dangerous, ridiculous, disgusting, appalling. You must change your tune. Do not continue misleading the American people. You don't have any news. You don't trust anymore. You shouldn't trust anymore those sources that you claim all these times that they've been providing you the information. Why do then you continue to repeat their stories? You've seen it. You know it. It means nothing. They have not predicted something that came true. Nothing. I am going to end it here by saying to all of you, again, do not miscalculate the American people's desire and patriotism. Do not dare calling anybody who is not willing to buy your stories as not enough patriots that you are better. Do not. Thank you.